What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're gonna take a look at Ahsoka Tano and Grogu from Hot Toys DX21, and you can order this. It's still available at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. I know it's like waitlisted on Sideshow, but you know, there's other websites out there. But let's take a look at this lady right here. It is I pre-ordered this a while back when I had this fascination with Mandalorian, and this being a DX figure, I'm a sucker for DX. I just didn't like the fact that this is 20 and 21, you know, like it's the same figure. But nonetheless, I picked it up. Very controversial because of the elbow issue. So I was hoping that I wouldn't catch that. And luckily, I've been lucky so far. Who knows? That's why it is important that you buy that either at Big Bad or Sideshow, because if something does indeed happen, you have at least 30 days to figure things out, because you don't want to end up with an elbow, even though it's your wrongdoing. You know, like there is a flaw in how they assembled this. It's way too many incidents now where the elbow's getting messed up. So if you buy it within those two retailers, at least you have the option within 30 days. So what I did right away is did the exercise on the elbow, you know, got it, looked at the points, hold it there, kind of bend it inwards, outwards, see what I could have, and then go on from there. But you can see here, this the packaging, very DX-like if you haven't had one before. It's very premium-esque. You got the foam packaging. Gone are the days where it's like magnetic, and probably for the best, because normally that tears on, you know, on the edges, but it remains the same, I would say, premium feel. Now this Ahsoka, once I held it in hand, it is kind of hefty. You feel the weight of the body, and you got the manual here, and at the bottom you see a tray with some of her accessories and also the base that you bought, and of course the ever reliable low resolution backdrop that we do have. And now let's take a look at the accessories that it comes with. You got some hands, which is weird because the hands are not even, how should I say this, they're not even pairs, you know, like you got one fisted hands, you got two open palm hands, and two, I guess, lightsaber wielding hand, and you got the hilts right here. One is longer, one is shorter. Beautifully done. I don't know much. I just knew Ahsoka. I didn't watch the Clone Wars. Everyone who watches the channel already knows that. I've seen her in Mandalorian, and that was one episode was enough for me to get her. And then I know she have her own show coming up in August, so I'm excited for that. So if you were an Ahsoka fan, you have two options. You can get this or wait for her own show. If you wait for her own show, you're probably waiting 2 years, maybe a year, I don't know. But I reckon, you know, they're not going to announce that till after 2 months after the show is over. So you're looking around November, December, and then it won't come out for another year. So, you know, and then you got the purse accessory here, and then you got the hoodie or cloak that she does have. Now let's move into the $30 accessory pack, which is the deluxe version for a DX, which is weird. You got Grogu. This is my third Grogu now. Hey, the more Grogu the better, right? But this one has articulated hands. Did he ever had articulated hands before? I don't remember. I only had the deluxe Mando, and I barely post that thing. But yeah, it's in here. Still, the dress is not, it's sculpted. You got a lamp which doesn't light up. Kind of sucks because, you know, it's DX. But it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Pretty decent. I like the fact that it's there. I just wish it does light up. But that overall, it's cool. The base, which is, again, weirdly done. I love how it looks like, right? I wish it was a little bigger, the base wise, but the positioning of, I don't know, and this should be just a crotch grabber, or that one prong thing that for like BBTS. I don't like, because I don't like this clamp on the waist. She's not gonna jump a lot anyway, plus, you know, and you got this low resolution backdrop, which is smaller, which would fit on your D12s. Now let's take a look at the tailoring for Ahsoka here. Beautifully done. I like the fact that the belt is not, it's kind of sculpted. They went Asmus route here. I like it because it's not gonna, it's not gonna flake. Let's put it that way. And 3-0 Asmus has been doing it, and I'm glad they went that route. I am. Yes, it's not real leather or whatever the case is, but the fact that it's somewhat gonna last, it's gonna last longer probably than the body here. And you see it's seamless shoulders. You know what? I do like the seamless shoulders though. Now having it in hand and actually playing around with it, I can see that it could pull off some poses that I thought it wouldn't. Totally different, and the way I handle it as well, it has a different feel than my Justice League Wonder Woman. I have more confidence in this body than my Wonder Woman Justice League. So I'm guessing this is the same way as they did with 84 Wonder Woman. If that is the case, I'm pretty sure you can have full confidence in that. So now having this in hand, I can say that why didn't they do this with Scarlet Witch? Because they could have. Now moving around here, you got the controversial elbow, which is, again, I don't know what's happening there and why all of their women does not have double jointed elbows, even though the elbows are covered. It just does not make any sense. And another controversial thing is the head sculpt. Now, mind you, this picture that I chose is heavily digital. It's her, but it's way too processed. So now let's take a look at the figure itself. It's close, but it's not all there. My buddy PJ right now is like, I told you. But I still think it has a great likeness, regardless of that. The eyes adds a lot to it. Now, the picture that you saw earlier, her eyes were superimposed. I believe that's manipulated as well. It's a little bigger than Rosario Dawson's actual eyes. She has beautiful eyes, but that's a little bigger in my opinion. Her hairdress, or whatever you call this, kind of gets in the way in some poses, although they're kind of soft that you can maneuver it around. But nonetheless, you will run into some posing issues because of that, but it's okay with me. I'm totally fine with how she looks like face-wise. There's separate rolling eye system, which is SIRS. That adds a lot, especially for a character like her. Man, you gotta love my Star Wars transition there. Look at that. Look at that beautiful swipe. Now let's go to articulation here. Let's talk about this. You can lift it up, and you can see they're not pulling and tugging. I don't feel scared. And in here, they're separated. So I've seen there's another joint in here, and you can only bend her up to this much. This is not double jointed elbow. Again, be careful. You gotta find the right spot. So always hold it. And also when you're moving your shoulders, I always want to hold it by the joint. Now, if you move her arms forward, you can kind of see it's kind of bunching up on the side. You're probably going to create some creases in there, but hey, life is short, right? Like, you got to post this figure, but I tell you, it's kind of scary. It is kind of scary. Moving it around, of course, the legs, this would, you got to study how this figure functions, like the joints and where to extend them and not, to fully have fun with it and remove that fear, even though it's always going to be present with all these, noise that you've been hearing. And you see the legs move here. And the bad part about this is that if you break the body, it's not like you can buy one on eBay, or get a Fison, because of the color of the skin. There's a lot of things that you got to do or customize to be able to match the skin tone and all that stuff. So just be careful. And this one, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, it does kind of hinder some poses that you might pull off there. I haven't even taken out the neck piece that she has there, but it is more articulated than I thought it would be. I would say that. Posing wise, okay, so this cloak that she does have, Hot Toys got to stop that, push button or press button thing, because I have that and that always breaks. Don't even open it if I was you. Remove the head sculpt, or the hairpiece, and you can slide it down. Don't even open that. You're going to break it eventually if you keep on doing that. Remove the back part of the head sculpt and you can slide it down. But once it's on, I actually prefer her with this clothing, to be quite honest with you. And even you remove the cloak, you kind of cover her arms. You know what? She looks great. She looks great. You can make the argument for like the WandaVision. You could technically give her, the same shoulders as well if you're really scared about that, and cover it up with this. Although, it's Ahsoka, so I'm happy that they went the route that they did. The bodies, I'm pretty satisfied with the body to begin with. But yeah, look at this pose right here. So you could, especially with the legs, and this is a safe pose to be quite honest with you, because the elbow joints are hidden. They're not gonna crack. They're just normal elbow joints. And then when you lift her arms sideways, you're not putting any stress on the body or the rubber itself. So believe it or not, this pose is actually one of the safer poses that you could pull off for Ahsoka. And you have to make use of the legs to simulate movement, since you're kind of limited with what you could do with her arms. So this pose right here is pretty dynamic for me. And now the height comparison with Luke and Mandalorian. I think this is season 1 Mando, and I got the deluxe Luke from the older one. I just bought a custom cloak there. I think they all look good together, man. They all look good together. I almost bought that Luke Skywalker DX, but now I'm just gonna go with the Bespin. So I kind of like this side swipe hairstyle, so I could kind of change it around. I didn't want to buy that because it's too close to what I have. It's too close. So I'd rather have the Bespin, use that head sculpt, pop it here, and now I got the best of both worlds. Final thoughts on Ahsoka. I like it. It's not a perfect figure. Plus, you probably have another chance, another crack to have her. If you are patient enough, by patient I mean 2 years patient, more power to you. Because I have high hopes for her own show, and if that's any good, you're kind of gonna have the same dilemma as Bo-Katan, where I didn't buy that. Now she was pretty much the lead role in Mandalorian season 3. Now I want it. The difference is Bo-Katan is still here. This Ahsoka, this DX21 is slowly fading. It's at the time of this video, it's still available at Big Bad, but it's waitlist full both on Sideshow, both 20 and 21. I'd recommend spending the extra $30 and get the DX21, because I think the base, Grogu, and the backdrop, I think the backdrop as well, and the lamp is worth $30. I mean, come on, we're in the age of head sculpt is worth $60-$70. So $30 with a beautiful base, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's $30. Come on. And that's my opinion. If you don't have the space, I understand it, but again, it doesn't take up that much. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with this figure. Glad to have it in my collection. Just praying that I don't eventually break the elbow. But thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you did find this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel out. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.